can you outline some of the aspects of climate change on winemakers that you are most concerned about?
Okay. Well, I'm part of a multinational group of researchers that are looking at the impact of climate change on vine growing.
Yeah.
Started with some work done in Saint-Emilion by Kees van Leeuwen, showing that there was more variation of climate within a region there was between regions.
Yeah.
So one of our specialities is to look at climate in a very much a regional scale. In fact, so we're working with Saint-Emilion, Cote de Leon in the Loire Valley, Cotnari in Romania, Geisenheim on Rheingau, and in Sussex at Rock Lodge Vineyard. We're actually looking at just one vineyard and how differences in climate within vineyards actually affect the wine production. So there's part of us who are sort of focused on the wine side. Then we've got climatologists who advise us on sort of climate development, so we're looking at the impact on climate.
Yeah.
And then we've also got a third tier of people working with us who are computer modelists. And these are the clever guys who are then able to take the results that we receive in the vineyards, generalize them throughout vineyard areas, project them into the future so that we're looking at what will happen in 2100 and so on, and then evaluate with a group of life cycle experts. We're evaluating their impact, the impact of different adaptation and mitigation strategies on the wine industry in the future.
And when you're doing that work, do you create scenarios a bit like the IPCC has representative concentration
That's right.
pathways?
That's right. We use those. That's right. We use those to see their impact upon vineyards and how they're managed in the 5 different regions. Yeah.
Okay. And just out of interest, I was at the COP in Germany, Poland in December, and there was this news released about the 1.5 and our current trajectory is taking us over 3. When you in the education sector, in the research sector, what do you think in terms of wine when you see these kinds of reports that see us going to 3 degrees global average? I mean, how does that factor in?
3 is huge.
I know.
I think that really will shake things up, and I think that will make a big difference. I think at the moment trying to plan for 1.5 is as good as we can get. And trying to sort of try and work with it, if you like, find ways round it by looking at not just sort of changing varieties or moving regions, looking at sort of techniques within vineyards and within vineyard areas. That's what we're looking at. So it's adaptation, but also mitigation, because we're also looking at the impact on carbon cycles and energy cycles and water cycles of the different adaptation strategies that we're putting in place.
What's your view on interventions in the vineyard? And these can take, I don't mean so much as spraying chemicals everywhere, but I mean sort of, there seems to be a trend much more towards organics, biodynamics, that kind of thing, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But technological data, things like this, which are kind of interventions because they're telling us more about what's going on in terms of tackling the problem of climate change or responding to climate change.
I think one of the major aspects of climate change is increase in variability, and in order to cope with an increase in variability, we've got to be much more attentive to what's going on in the vineyard, and there are a lot of tools coming out now for vineyard monitoring. Say, for instance, we run a drone, and that gives us an accurate, very accurate picture of where the vineyard is, every time we fly it. And this sort of thing, we have to be able to, there's no rules anymore. You can't just say, bud burst is 1st of May, and we're going to have flowering in June, and so on and so forth. Things are going to be much more difficult to predict. So we've got to keep track of what's going on.
And do you think, in the way that years ago, winemakers quite often say, you'll never get accurate data here because it's a microclimate, it's always changing, whereas now we really can zoom in on these small...
Oh yeah, we've proved it. I mean, we've got 19 sensors in our vineyard, and we can very accurately look at what's going on. and but it's new technology, and that's going to make a big impact on vine growth. It'll have to, things are changing, so you've got to keep track.
Do you have any? Some extremes that we see a lot of late season frost or hail in summer and things like that. Are there interventions that you're looking at to tackle these in any way? Is there anything?
We're not looking at new techniques. We're assessing old techniques, if you like, to resolve these problems, and we're looking at them from an ecological impact, and from a carbon cycle impact, energy impact, water impact, and from an economic impact point of view. Trying to differentiate between them, if you like, from that point of view. That's not easy. But you see, we've developed a model now which can give you a pretty good idea of how vineyards will behave in 20, 50 or 100 years' time. And we can build into that a lot of different variables and work out the impact of them according to different scenarios.
And are you quite confident in the results you're getting moving ahead? Because models can be controversial, and sometimes they're very good.
We're just starting out. Yeah. I mean, this is, we've been going for 5 years, and I think we're developing the models more than getting the answers, to be absolutely frank.
And when you come to an event like this, which is quite innovative in a sort of industry introspective way, what do you see as your objective as being? Is it to address the industry and say, look, how do you?
I think it's to disseminate our findings. I mean, this is what we're financed by the European Life Plus project, and part of the project, or a very important part of the project, is to say, well, look, this is what we found, and tell people. Now, you start off by telling people who are part of the wine community, and then that goes into production community and so on and so forth. So, it's that's the main objective, is to say, well, look, this is what we're doing, and if you're interested, come and talk to us. We're hoping that this project will lead to other projects, and we'll make a difference.
And on the sustainability side of vineyard management, carbon footprints, are you involved in any of that kind of work?
Well, I'm the chairman of the WineGB Sustainability Group.
Yes.
So yes, I mean, one of my tasks I've taken on is to develop a sustainability system for the UK.
Yeah.
So we've got a blueprint, if you like, which we developed a couple of years ago, of guidelines, and we'd like to put those into effect, and sort of create a brand, if you like, which will differentiate the producers that put these guidelines into practice, so that you could say, well, there are people within our industry who are doing something particular towards sustainability.
Almost like a certification.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah. That's sort of like, yeah.
I think I've gone up and down my list.
That's all right.
We've kind of covered most of the things.
Great.
What's the most exciting sort of response to climate change or project that you see, or you're working on at the moment, or is in the fold?
I think the realization that of climate variability within a single field is really exciting, and that's that means that once we understand that, then I think there's a lot we can do, and